Hi there. In this section, you are going to learn how to solve a pair of linear equations using the graphical method. So let's begin. Graphical method. Before I actually start the graphical method, I just want to help you understand that graphical method is one of the easiest way to find the solution of a pair of linear equations or the systems of linear equations. You just need to know how to graph it, and then the solution of the pair of line is the point of intersection of both the two lines. So let's begin. Example. Solve the pair of equations in two variables x and y such as x plus 2y is equal to 10. This is our first equation, and x plus y is equal to 8, and this is a second equation. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider first equation first, and then I will convert the first equation into slope intercept form. So this is my first equation, x plus 2y is equals to 10. I'm going to convert this equation into slope intercept form. So in order to do that, I need to take this x to the other side, and there's only one way I can do that: if I subtract x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and if I do that, this x is cancelled out, and on left hand side I only have 2y is equal to negative x plus 10. Now in order to convert this equation into slope intercept form, I need to get rid of this 2, so I will divide both sides by 2. So our first equation is converted into y is equal to negative 1 over 2x plus 5, and this is basically the slope intercept form of the equation. If you look closely at this equation, you can see this is basically my slope m, and this is my y-intercept. So let's write it down. So my y-intercept is b is equal to 5, which is from here, and my slope is m is equal to negative 1 over 2 over here. Now let's consider the basic definition of slope. Slope is basically what? Rise over run. So if I want to explain slope, I can write slope as rise over run. So my numerator is basically what? Rise, and my denominator is run. So basically my slope m is equal to negative 1 over 2 is rise over run, where rise is negative 1 and run is 2. Now I'm going to graph this equation. So I'm going to consider graph. So this is my graph. This is my x-axis, and this is my y-axis. Now I'm going to consider the y-intercept. So first I will consider the y-intercept on the y-axis. As you can see, y-intercept v is equal to 5, which is a positive number. So basically I need to go along the positive. So I will consider 5 from origin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is my y-intercept. My slope m is equal to negative 1 over 2, and as you know, slope is rise over run, and the rise is negative. So rise is always the y-axis and run is x-axis. So my y-axis is negative 1. So I will go negative 1 down this point. So this will be my rise, and my run is 2 on the right because run is positive. So 1, 2. This is my run. So technically, rise is negative 1 down, and then 1, 2 right, because run is positive. In the same way, we can consider more points by going down 1 because rise is negative, and then right because run is positive. So 1 and then 1, 2, 1 and then 1, 2. So these are my points using the y-intercept and the slope. Now let's connect these points. So if I connect these points, this will be my equation of a line. Y is equal to negative 1 over 2 x plus 5. Now let's consider the second equation. So my second equation is x plus y is equal to 8, which is over here. Now let's also consider this equation in slope intercept form. And if I do that, I need to get rid of x. So I will subtract x from both sides. If I subtract x from both sides, this x is cancelled out, and I only have y left over on the left side. So I write y is equal to negative x plus 8, which is on the right side. If you look closely at this equation and compare with the slope intercept form, you will realize that this is my y-intercept and this is my slope. So my y-intercept is b, which is equal to 8, and my slope is negative 1. So I will write m is equal to negative 1, and I can write negative 1 as negative 1 over 1. And if you remember, slope is rise over run. So my rise is negative 1 and my run is 1. Now let's use this information to graph this line over here on the graph. So my y-intercept is 8, and it's a positive number. So I will go 8 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my y-intercept, and my slope is negative 1 over 1. So rise is negative, so I need to go down for the y-axis, and run is positive 1. So I will go right on the x-axis, along the x-axis technically. So 1 down and then 1 right. Over here, 1 down and 1 right. over here, one down and one over here, one down and one right, again the same way. And if I plot these points, then you will get this kind of line. So let's connect those points. So this is my line, and this is the line for equation y is equal to negative x plus 8. As you can see, this line with black and this line is with blue, and they are intersecting at this point. So this is the point of intersection of equation 1 and equation 2, and the coordinate of this point is basically what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my x is 6 and y is 1, 2, and y is 2. So my point P is 6, 2. And this is basically the solution of the pair of linear equation given by these two equations.